Yo, what it do, man? Dead End Hip Hop, the listening. Appreciate everybody that's here. You know what I'm saying? On time, we live. You know, we got IDK in the background, man. He's in the backstage. He's here. He done sent some joints, you know what I'm saying? Some fire stuff. Now, here's the thing. We don't listen to him, but it's IDK, so it's guaranteed fire. You know, it's guaranteed fire. You know what I'm saying? Look, I saw this thing. I said to the Ken ain't say nothing, so this is what we're going to do. You know what I'm saying? A little quick. You know what I'm saying? Just real quick. Benny the Butcher or Conway the Machine, who's better? I'm going to count to three. Just say who you think is better. 1, 2, 3. Benny.
Are you talking to us?
Yeah, I'm talking to y'all.
Man, I don't know what you doing.
I didn't either, but you know,
who do you think is better? Benny or Conway? Benny or Conway?
You already know Conway's my guy, okay. Man. You already know that.
Everybody don't know that though.
Benny.
That's what's up. Conway's my guy, man.
That's what's up. But look, I mentioned Benny and Conway because IDK has a feature with Benny the Butcher. And that's where I want to start this intro. For everybody that's here on time. IDK has a ridiculous feature run, either who he's featured on or who has featured with him. So these are just some of the names. Pusha T, DMX, Jid, Tyler the Creator, Burner Boy, Young Thug, Offset, Westside Gun, MF Doom, Jay Electronica, Lucky Day, Sir, T-Pain, Neptune, Sway Lee, Rico Nasty, Slick Rick, Seven Streeter, Music Soul Child, Rich the Kid, Snoop Dogg, Fat Trail, NLE Chopper, Juicy Fruit, Saucy Santana, Benny the Butcher. That is wild. And the man that has all of those crazy features is none other than IDK.
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up?
What up?
What's up?
All is well.
Man.
Oh, I didn't even realize it was that crazy shit.
Bro.
How do you not realize that?
Oh, my God.
I don't be thinking about it that way, like, sometimes when I make the stuff, you know? I hear abstract ideas, and I always love having people that may not actually ever be on an album together on projects that I have, so.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. But like how? Like, because it's not like, you know, most artists I feel like typically have to like grow their profile before they start collabing. And it feels like you was collabing from get-go. Mm-hmm. Like how, Sway? How did you make that happen?
It depends. I mean, I wouldn't say from get-go, man. I remember it's extremely hard to get anything from anybody. I remember one time I almost got scammed for Schoolboy Q. This was when I thought the best way to get a feature was to pay for it, and I didn't know any better. And they were like, "Yeah, Schoolboy Q, $1,000," and I'm like, "What?" Well, $1,000 to me at that time was a lot of money, so it made sense to me at the time, but it was obviously not something that made sense at all in the height of his career when his first album had just come out, you know. But I remember I almost got scammed for that, and it didn't end up happening, thank God. It was impossible up until probably when I got to I Was Very Bad. That project, you know, it was interesting because who did I have? I had Chief Keef. So Chief Keef, how I was able to, that happened was because when I first started making music, back in the day when everybody had their booking manager's number in their bio.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Like Chief Keef, I bet. And you used to be able to mass text everybody in your phone in your contacts on iMessage. So I had like 200 people, and I'll be like, don't respond because it'll freeze up the phone if everybody's responding. So I'll be like, but look at my news, check out my new song. And he was in there. And then I remember one time he was like, yo, this is fire. And it just said Chief Keef Management. And I remember that. And then I would always, you know, he followed me on Instagram. He see me grow, whatever the case may be. And then when it came down to it one time, I remember I was like, man, I really hear Chief Keef on this song. He's like, I mean, he don't do too much these days, but let me see. And he sent him the song. And it was a similar situation to a lot of the ones that happened earlier before I had a lot of the relationships directly with artists. It was just like, okay, he actually fucks with it. He said he'll do the verse. And then it took like mad long and I had to follow up and just, and it was like, it's coming tomorrow, and then it don't come. And then, and then eventually he came back with a lot of people say one of his best verses. You could tell. I remember they said he did it. He said he did it the first time and he didn't like it. So then he did it again and it was really good, So that was like kind of how that happened. I remember that one. And then like later on, it just became, I just be around. I see certain people. I link up with certain people. I see certain people out. And then it got to a point where people start coming to me. I think a lot of artists also refer to me as an artist's favorite artist kind of person, where they may be, but from numbers, bigger than me. But when it comes down to how they view my art, this is just like, there's a saying in prison that's like, man, respect man. If you carry yourself like a man, I mean, most likely you'll be all right. Like stuff still could happen, but for the most part, man, respect. It's when you're trying to do all the other stuff is when you get into stuff, right? I think the same applies to music. Art, respect art. Like sure. It could be an artist that has 2,000 followers. If I'm inspired by their music to the point where I wish I made that shit, and I'm like, I know at some point it's gonna happen for them. I'm a fan. I don't look at what I got and what they got, and it's like, I want to make music. Am I worthy enough to make music with you? Because the level of the music you make is something that I aspire to make, and that vice versa. They might feel the same way about you, and they won't know. I remember this happened with Ferg one time. We in the studio, right? And he played, I think it was Floor Seats, and he's in my house. No, he came to the crib, and he played like banger after banger. And I played It's Real. And I remember hearing his shit like, damn, I wish I made that. And then he was like, nigga, I wish I made that. So we admire each other based off of the art. So to me, I'm like, damn, I'm not on this nigga level when it comes to that. And then he's looking at it the same way, but in a different. So that's what I mean by art, respect art. And I think a lot of my features, that's just what it be. Like, people respect what I do.
Yeah, that's beautiful, bro. Like, I feel, a lot of your story is very organic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you put in the legwork, you've reached out, you've done a lot. But with all of these features, how many of them happen in studio? Do you have any like crazy in studio, story?
I think the person I have, ironically, the most chemistry with, two people, it's either me and Denzel Curry, or me and Trippie Redd. I think me and Trippie got like 5 or 6 songs, or 7. Only one of them came out. But since the beginning, because I did a freestyle. So the Double XL, I was a little up in the running to Double XL, and I thought I would have gotten it, and they didn't give it to me. And I heard through the grapevine that Trippie Redd did the Double XL cover with the freshman, but he didn't do the freestyle. I'm like, that's blasphemy. You mean you have that opportunity and you blow off the freestyle? You might have been the first or ever to do that. So I was like, all right, I know that's happening. I'm gonna make Trippie Redd's freestyle, and I'm gonna drop as soon as the XL. I'm gonna drop my freestyle. Like, I should have been there, and that's how we got cool. Because it blew up. It was crazy. It was like on World Star. Everybody like, this nigga literally like burnt the Double XL magazine and the whole shit and all that shit.
Yeah.
I remember the game hit me like, yo, that freestyle hard. Like,
what?
That's how it be. It just literally be like, I've done so much that almost everybody in rap has come across me to some degree at least once. So like, by the time I hit niggas, and it's usually positive, like I can say every time I've ever gone viral is for something good. You know what I'm saying? It ain't never like some controversy and none of that, knock on wood. But because of that, I think people just respect how I move. But yeah, that sorry, long-winded answer, like you said.
Nah.
So the old joint you sent in. Oh, and by the way, everybody watching, man, look, if y'all want to ask IDK a question, go ahead and send in your super chat. Get them in now. You know what I'm saying? And we'll answer them once we get through with the music. But the old joint you sent in was No Shoes on the Rug. Why did you pick that one?
Well, specifically for this, doing this with you guys, I remember that was like the first thing that either y'all reacted to or said something about at some point. And man, I used to watch all y'all stuff like a dream to me, like to be able to even just, damn, these guys talking about my shit. Like, so I was like, man, I wanted to kind of bring something from that into the mix. And also it connects with this new project because that was one of the first times I really talked about how it felt behind bars and how I discovered that my mom, who I thought hated me, which is crazy, really loved me, because I remember when she would always say, like, all the stuff you're doing, if you go to jail, I'm never gonna come visit you, I'm gonna disown you, I got African parents and stuff. So I remember when that happened, man, she was actually the only one that did come visit me. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
She was the only one that did have my back. You know, I was 17 in adult prison, and as her son, she couldn't bear to see that, no matter what she actually said. And I realized the true meaning of love, especially tough love. So that's what that song means to me.
Yeah, that's off the I Was Very Bad.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my intro. Yeah, that was absolutely my intro.
Yeah.
All right, y'all ready?
Yeah, man.
Ready to run it? All right, let's do it.
10 minutes remaining on this call.
No evil, no flaws. Your evil on pause. My evil on go. Do you understand what I was trying to say? Oh, now you understand what I was trying to say. But even though you make me mad and never listen, you my baby, and I'm still going love.
This call has ended. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Look, you keep calling your music art, and you're one of the few, in my opinion, that like I wouldn't even call you a rapper. Like, you're literally an artist, and I feel like you've been able to master like broad stroke, like detail, like even in that song, like inflections in your voice. You know what I'm saying? Like, that conveys so much emotion. Like, you'll be like technical rapping, then you'll get into some melodic shit. Like, it's just like, bruh. Like, that is what art is. It's like you transcended rap. Like, it's not just one thing that you do, bro. And I think that's the reason why, like, we've always been just like so high on you. And I know on the last review, I was like, damn, like, people always ask us, like, who should I be checking out, this, that, and the third. And I think you're one of those artists that should always get more love. But I need to, consciously be telling people, like, when they ask me, hey, bro, who should I check out? IDK. Like, you're like, I said that about Denzel Curry Denzel Curry, IDK, like, man.
Yeah.
Well, you may want to add the rapper part, because they're gonna be like, what? IDK. You may want to,
he's an artist. He's an artist. You go check him out. Go check him out.
IDK. Okay, shit. All right, man. I thought you did that to hip hop. I was asking you.
Oh man.
But no, I think and very descriptive. I know this project is getting a lot of love as it should, as all your projects. I've listened to them all. Should so I'm loving the response I've seen so far. But just descriptive, man. I think the way you write, the way you can relate, like, your stories, your songs, is really impactful, I think. And just even on that one, when you're talking about, who's running this place, I'm gonna call him. Like, that's a mama thing that happened. Like, oh, I need to get on the phone with my. So
you're willing to fight everybody in that.
Man. Yeah. And what I was thinking about, since the review, I've been listening to it, and I was just recently listening to it, and the thing that I was walking away with, and I really haven't found the words, but I think you have a really, really, really good talent for writing and crafting songs in such a way where, like FIFO said, you have the technical stuff and then you have the melodic stuff. Like, you're really versatile, and it almost like it knows no bounds. When I'm listening to structure, choruses, the way you can add, they call these tricks. I heard it from, I forgot who, I think it was somebody that said it, they talk about Jay-Z, and Jay-Z's really adding tricks to songs, and the way they described the tricks was that it's a part of a song that people remember. that everybody will always remember. And yeah, when I'm listening to these joints, I'm like, man, the way he can craft the songs, the hooks, and structure them in a way, and then pick the beats and everything. It's just like, it really is very artistic. Not a lot of people can really do that. It's really incredible,
man.
And that's one, man.
It feels so good to hear this, man. Because I'm gonna be real with you, man. Like when I made Is He Real, it was reviewed. It got a lot of mixed reviews, and I was so shocked at it because I realized I put my foot in that joint so much that people probably didn't even catch. Like some people were saying things like, man, he's talking about religion, but he never lands on what religion, if he believes in religion or not. And I'm like, that was the point. I have just to pose thoughts that I'm telling you to think on your own what you see it as. I leave you with a cliffhanger. I love movies that have cliffhangers. I love movies that end in a way where you wish there was a sequel, but there's no sequel. So in my mind, I thought I accomplished the highest thing that I could at the time. And I realized people didn't pay enough attention to it. And it messed with me because I'm like, maybe I'm doing too much. Maybe I just need to focus on making, catchy enough hooks and da-da-da-da. And so the next record, it was a lot more commercially acceptable in terms of like, I had my first real radio single, like all this stuff. And I was like, maybe I'll probably go 4 layers into what I create, but I'll maybe just do 2. 2 is good enough. And I let people not really seeing certain things make me put less detail into certain things and focus on other things. But you saying that, and even the praise that this one is getting right now, it lets me know, sometimes you just gotta stick to it, man. Eventually people will understand it. And especially because another thing I think I made a mistake with Is He Real on, and this is for any artist that's doing this, man. I love like people like Frank Ocean and all these people that's super mysterious. I'm not gonna explain it. I'm gonna let the fans da-da-da-da-da. Man, listen, bro. I look at anyone who listens to my music, I don't care how big I get. It's a privilege that people will spend their time out of their day to check out my art when there's a plethora of other music. So the least I could do is, if I have a point that I want to get across, especially as a Black man who has majority of my fans are not Black and can't necessarily relate to all of my what I've been through, the least I could do is just tell you, this is what I meant. Here you go. This is my interview. So that's it. I'm just saying that to say I'm really excited to hear that you guys peeped that. And to that point, the tricks that you said about Jay-Z, because I didn't know exactly where you were going with it until you explained it. The greatest example of someone who's really fucking good at doing that, probably the best, is Kendrick Lamar. This nigga will do a control verse and say, "I don't sell clap, motherfucker." You know what I mean? Like that's a hook, even though it's not supposed to have a hook. It's like, he showed me, and I'm sure a lot of my generation of artists, okay, you could still be lyrical, but still say that thing that everyone's going to say. The first time I really heard him do it was on the fucking Problem song. When he's like, "Girl, I know you want this dick." Like, it was like, oh, I know what you did. And then right after that, he goes, "I'm Kendrick Lamar," because he knew the mainstream ain't know him like that yet. So he goes through that line, then he reminds you of who he is, and then finishes the verse. That let me understand the balance between being technically skilled and also being catchy. So it's good that you caught that, because that's a conscious thing that it's so conscious that now it's in my subconscious. Because I freestyle all this stuff, I don't write. I just go in, I say shit, I put it together, and it just comes out that way. So, yeah.
So you grew into that, or like you was always like that, or like did you write initially?
I wrote initially, and then this nigga, fucking Denzel, bro. We in the studio, and this nigga like, all right, you want to go next? I'm like, oh shit. That's how we made Once Upon a Time Freestyle. That's my biggest song on Spotify. It's like 100 million streams, and it was just a freestyle. Me. This nigga say his thing, I'm like, I'm not about to write my shit if you ain't about to write your shit, nigga. I'm not about to be here for 45 minutes trying to get my verse together. Ever since that exercise, I started adopting what people in Atlanta would do. but now I put like lyrics into it and storytelling into it to where it's a little bit like on a different, like we're adding layers to the thing that just is a feeling, because that's why a lot of trap music feels so good, because it's just feeling. They're going off feeling and they just say what it is. I realize freestyling allows me to have that feeling and not, and almost sometimes when I rap, I do this thing like almost similar to like MF Doom a little bit, where it's kind of drunken or it's kind of like offbeat. It's kind of like I'm just fucking around. Like I'm not trying to be sharp with it, right? Because when you write, you just be trying to get everything. And I like to do that when it's time to do that. But I also love like things just being floaty, and freestyling allows me to go with the feeling, because if you think about like a Jay Dilla beat, for instance, right? Or even a K-Tronada beat, the hi-hat might be doing one thing, but the kick's doing something else and the snare's doing something else. And when I'm freestyling, I get to pick where I want to ride. So it might fuck somebody up if they're listening to it like, wait, hold on, where is he going? But I'm paying attention to everything, but I'm playing with everything. You see what I'm saying? That is, to me, I have the most fun when I'm able to do that. MF Doom, in his own right, not the exact same way I do it, he has his way of doing certain things. And I love that about him, where he'll like say something you think is about to rhyme with something, and he'll just say something else. And I love that. You know what I mean? This is the beauty of rap, and there's no real one way to do it. You think about ODB, people like that, like, bro, he's one of the greatest of all time. I made this tweet one time, and I was like, I said, Raekwon, no, not Raekwon. I said Ghostface is the first mumble rapper, and everybody was so mad. But you know what I meant by that? All I meant by that is, if you saying mumble rap is, because it started off like mumbling, literally mumbling. Mm-hmm. But I think they started classifying anybody who wasn't saying anything that was a story, like that was connected to mumble rap. And I was like, yo, if you do that, this nigga is a genius. And he's amazing at what he does. Everything don't be connecting the way that, like, you know what I'm saying? So if you're going to say that, then that's what we saying. But obviously, I think it got taken out of context in that time. It luckily, I wasn't big enough for that to be a big problem. I take it back now. I do not mean that, by the way. That's you know what I mean. Like, nah. Yeah. But I love that about hip hop. Go ahead.
So IDK, real quick, like, I listed, and it wasn't even everybody that you've worked with, right? And then K-Tronada is another one. Mm-hmm. Who have you not had the opportunity to work with that you're like, yeah, like this person's on my list, he's on my radar, I'm gonna get this person, I'm gonna get that girl, who are some of those names?
Well, one was it almost happened, and then I kick myself in the I want to punch myself in the face every time I think about it. Andre 3000. And the reason why it didn't happen, I got a little too cocky, bro. Not cocky, that's not the right word, because it wasn't that. I remember I met him, but this was like, I met him before that. You just see him out. A lot of people just catch. No, this was the real deal this time. This time it was like, yo, what's up? And then he's like, yeah, man, I know who you are. I got my ear to the streets. And I'm like, oh shit, man. So I'm like kind of nervous, like, it's like, I don't know what to say next. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, man. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. He's like, yeah. And I was like, something just told me, just ask for his number. So it's like, yo, what's your number? And then I caught myself like, Andre 3 doesn't have a phone. Like, what? Doesn't have a phone. And then he's like, oh, yeah. And he takes my phone and he puts his number in my phone. And he looks and realizes the last couple numbers is wrong. So then he backs up out of it. And this is happening in slow motion to me. I'm like, oh, shit. He puts the number in, backs up, realizes it's wrong, puts it back in. And he's like, here you go. And then I get his number, right? And I'm like, boom, all right, bet. And every time I get somebody's number, I say, all right, it's IDK, lock me in. Nigga, I'm talking about, like, I'm leaving the joint. I see Andre 3000, gotcha. Then it goes, Andre 3000 again. Yo, I'd like to get in the studio whenever you have time next. And I'm like, bet. And then he's like, I say when I'm being in the studio, he's like, oh shoot, I probably can't make that, but can you send me a link so I can listen to something? So at this point, this nigga done texted me 5-6 times. We having a conversation. I'm like, we good. We good. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna send him the shit tomorrow. This is like 2 days of texting. Nigga, I send this nigga the shit the next day. I ain't heard from him since. No, to be fair, he didn't listen to it either because it was a song clown. Like I could see, it wasn't like he listened to it and never heard. It just was, he was just on what he was on. And in the moment, oh yeah, Andre, we good. That's my man. Like I could hit. I'll be seeing him though. I see him all the time though. So we still, but he be on the flute now and shit. So it's like, if I get lucky, who knows?
That's a wild story. I want to say he said something similar. Who was that? Nick Grant. We had Nick Grant on. He said a kind of similar story about Andre. He's like, I know who you are. Like he really be having his ear to the street, like for real. Like man, that's wild. God, that's a wild story.
I've already worked with Jay Electronica, but I want to work with him again because that was one of them songs where me being extremely lyrical was not necessarily what I wanted. I wanted to just make a bop, like for people to like sing along to. It's kind of funny or whatever, but I really want to exercise my pen with him again. And even how that happened was crazy. He was very like, I posted it on Twitter just recently, just because I think people be thinking like I'm a part of the Illuminati and I just be giving niggas $1 million checks to get them on the songs and shit. I was like, no. He hit me. He was like, yo, I love your taste. I respect what you're doing. I'm very picky about what I do, but this was the one. That's what he said to me. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be able to do something with him. I hit him the other day. I had a random dream about Farrakhan, and I was just like, yo, I had a dream about Farrakhan, and he was like, call me.
That is
I really did though. I was like, I don't know why I'm dreaming about Farrakhan, but I just did.
That is wild. That's wild. I remember when I heard, that's like, this thing got Jay Elect, because I don't think Jay Elect was on anybody things around the time he was on yours. I was like, how the hell this nigga get Jay Electronica?
I don't even know, man. I did, but by that time the Doom shit had happened. So I'm like, the Andre had like, you know what I'm saying? All that. So I already kind of, it was just limitless to me at that point now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like at this point, if you see me pull up with Michael Jackson on a record, just don't go, bro. Like it could really happen. Like how it just could. But by that time he took like 7 months on that one though. He took a little time because Doom had passed, a bunch of other things had happened by the time he did it. So but that was fun.
That's what's up. All right, so IDK, the next joint you picked was off of this current project, Devil. Why'd you pick that joint?
I picked that joint for the sake of that. I would say was the first song that really shaped my positioning for Even the Devil Smiles. It was like one of the first ones I recorded, and that was the height of like me feeling like not anger but frustration with certain people in the music industry thinking they could just move a certain way and not understand that like I don't even like most of these people, if we don't connect properly in a certain way and I don't get to spend real time with you, like I don't even know that we would be friends. Most of these people, some of these people just move in a way where I'm like, y'all not the kind of people that I would spend my time with, but you act like you so cool. And a lot of times it's the suits and the people on the industry side, because they may have this artist right now, so they feel like they're on top of the world, but then they treat people like they the artist. So that song for me shaped this whole project, and that's where the peak of my aggression and feelings that way comes from that song.
All right, well, here we go.
Yo, kid, it's time.
Okay, engine in the boot, barely room to put the seat back. People switching up back and cold, I got the heat pack. He ain't got no breath for the beat, I need the beat back. Flow so sharp, so dope, I cause the relapse.
Yes, sir.
Bro, this
right
project
after Halo too.
bro.
Crazy placement.
Yeah. So IDK, like, number one, what made you want to go with a mixtape? And then what was the thought process like? Let me go get Who Kid. Like, how did that come about? Because I love the nostalgia that I feel like a lot of artists are bringing back to, especially like the mixtape. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love mixtapes, and this felt like a very, like, it's close to, it's a fucking album, but it definitely had a mixtape, you know what I'm saying, vibe and feel. Like, what was the thought process as to why to do the mixtape and getting Who Kid to host it?
Yeah, so initially when I first put this out, and presented it to the world, it was at the MoCA Museum. And the reason why I chose to do this project specifically there was based off of the fact that I felt like, I'll go back to prison for a little bit. In prison, one thing that people were really good at doing was taking the resources around them and turning things into the craziest inventions. Like they can make a tattoo gun out of a CD player motor and guitar string, right? And a pair of batteries and all kinds of different things. And I thought that it was beautiful because essentially hip hop and rap music started off of the mixtape that was recorded during certain parties because that was the only way to get you had to be there to listen to rap music and hip hop. And the fact that, you know, people figured out how to innovate the turntables into an instrument to be able to rhyme over or MC over. And it was like, yo, we ain't got the bread to really have a whole band and create our music, but there's this whole band in this part of the record. And if we keep looping it on time, now we got a bed to create music over. I think that the mixtape is way more significant than the mainstream industry kind of made it feel in terms of being an innovative form of distribution for rap music. A lot of people look at the mixtape as a disregarded art form, like where it's like, we ain't got the money like that, let's make a mixtape. But that was based off of resources. Rappers was creating so much that the labels couldn't figure out how to put that out properly and distribute it properly. So, but rappers had to feed the streets. Or so-and-so might have said something about you and you're like, man, I'm not waiting until my album coming out, man. I'm trying to come back on DJ Clue. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember hearing the T.I. Ludacris diss track. They on the same song, dissing each other on the same song, bro. Like, that was crazy to me. Yeah. Me getting beat down, that's ludicrous. Like, right. To me, it was like, yes, it's an event. Yes, it's nostalgia. But also, I want to show people that hip hop in its purest form can be presented in these places because the way people innovated from the resources that they had deserves to be in a MoCA museum, deserves to be at the Smithsonian, deserves to be at MoMA. Like, and that's what my ambition originally was. It's like, what's the best way I can present a mixtape for the sake of hip hop? And that's why I decided to call it a mixtape. Like, I want people to look at mixtapes like they look at albums. Cause bro, let's be real. It's some mixtapes that's better than albums.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Chance the Rapper, like my favorite Kendrick project was Section 80. That was technically a mixtape when it came out. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not to say I don't like other shit, but like Section 80 was like so different, like so that only he could do that thing. You know what I mean? So I say that to say, like, I think I just wanted to show people when you say the word mixtape, put some respect on that shit, man.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
No,
yeah, you know, like, because you. No, go ahead, Rob.
No, I'm saying no. I like that. That's all I was saying.
Oh, okay, yeah, because you know, like we started that hip hop back in 2011, so we was like kind of in the midst of the blog era mixtape wave. So for me, mixtapes not only like I agree with you, like I share the same sentiment. Not only is it nostalgic, like there are hella mixtapes that are better than albums, and I've been on record saying it. And sometimes artists don't like it, but hey, you know, our motto is no politics, no BS. This is how I feel. That's what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? And I'm with you. You know, people definitely got to put more respect on mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that that's the reason why you did it, because you can't do nothing but respect the pen and the beats and the features and the craziness that happens on the project. You know what I'm saying? And then for you, you know, to just kind of curate that whole thing. But you said a word that made me think. You know, you said you want your art to be presented in these type of venues. But what made
as an art form to be presented?
Yes, as an art form, 100%, 100%. But what made you come up? Because I thought this was also a great play on nostalgia as well, the way you branded it. But like the CD player with the music, that's like, bro, and you know, like it's something that's simple, and I feel it's technically low hanging fruit, but nobody's done it. And I think it was masterful, especially because it's a mixtape too. Like it like you doubled down on that.
Yeah, man. It all started from when I was coming up with the creative for this. And I remember in your review, you were like how you don't think you could have waited if you had this level of features. Well, I'm telling you, when you got to make vinyl, when you got to make creatives, I mean, you got to create, when you have to create, when you don't got a major label behind you and you got to really, really pick one day to shoot everything because that's what you got in your budget. You'll wait. You'll wait. Gotta have the best impact. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to do that fourth quarter and all that. So I was just like, I had to basically sit down and I said, okay, what story do I want to tell visually? It's the mixtape era. And it's about and a lot of it is about me all of it is about my what I've learned from being in prison and being in prison. So I remember that, we had CD players in prison. That's how I learned how to make music. Like, that's how I learned how to rap. I used to have my little radio at first, and I used to have to go out on the yard and listen to what's on the radio and memorize the beat and come back and write raps to the memory of the beat from the radio. Right. Then my boy who was in there with me, he's been there for 22 years. But at that time, it was like 8 years in. He like, man, he see how much I love music, how much I'm writing, and he just gave me a CD player. And he gave me the Chronic. I listened to the Chronic for the first time in prison. I got to listen to it though, my G. Like, I got to understand like what's going on, not other things distracting me. You know, he gave me Watch the Throne. He gave me all these Take Care, Drake, all that, and I listened, and it was on that transparent CD player. And the reason why it's transparent is because in prison, they don't want you to hide contraband, because you could the CD player, break it down and put some weed in there, put some K2 in there, whatever, you know, some people do heroin, all that shit, pills, whatever. So everything is transparent. My idea was taking back that power, because they use that to take away power. So I'm like, nah, that's cool. That looks cool. It reminded me of when I used to have my little Game Boy and it was purple clear and all that shit. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm gonna make a CD player to sell the mixtape, but it's gonna be a prison CD player, because that's me. That's my story. And that's when I put it together. I'm gonna be real. I didn't know it was gonna blow up like it did, because like, I'm thinking about my fans. I'm like, all right, how do I share a piece of me with my fans? And I'm charging out the ass for the joint, man. Hopefully somebody buy this shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. I put it out. It's funny because it was out at first, but I never told the story about what it was. So people just saw an expensive ass CD player, like, yeah, all right. The moment I wrote what it was and what it meant, that's when everybody started buying it right away. And then everybody started posting about it, like how I'm basically selling my mixtape as a playable CD player. And everyone loved the idea. And then even people copied it right after. You know what I'm saying? So.
Now you're a trendsetter, bro. You definitely a trendsetter, dog. Like,
no, you're an artist. Yeah. You're an artist.
You're an artist. You're an artist.
That's what that is. And when you say like the price of art, like, yeah, make it $500. Like people will pay for art. That's how it go.
Yeah.
So I love that, bro. I love that, man. And I love how you just like sticking to your, you know, you're doing what you want to do. The same way you said with the music, right? Mm-hmm. You just like, forget, I'm gonna put out a CD player. This is what I'm gonna charge for it. Like, and you either gonna accept it or not. It's the same way you explain the music. So yeah, man, just keep doing that, bro. Like a lot of people need to start doing that. Honestly, man. Like, I think we in that era where you just gotta kind of just do you, and then people will grasp to it at some point.
Yeah, that's it. And continue to love what you do. But yeah.
It's still crazy. So whenever I hear like on the tape, you're like, yeah, I would have got out in 2025. That shit, every time I hear that shit, bro, like, yo.
I didn't even realize it until I made it. I was making it. And I was like, wait, hold up. I was like, yo, oh shit. I did get sentenced in 2010, so I'd have been coming out right this year. And it made me feel even more like the frustration that I had. I'm kind of just like, bro, y'all can't talk to me. Y'all can't play me, bro. Y'all can't play with me, bro. Because at the end of the day, bro, I ain't even supposed to be here for real. Like, I was able to figure out a situation that allowed me to go to prison for just long enough to learn a serious lesson, but not ruin my life. My man is still in there right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I talked to him. He called me today. It's like, that's real. So I've been through too much. I've been through really real shit in my mind to where this music industry shit, like, I can't let this shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, control how I feel and all that, man. These people move how they move, and that's what it is, and I understand that. But I really had to survive some stuff, man. Like, I smoked K2 and shit. I said it in the song. I'm like, I tried K2 on my B-Day, bro. Like, I didn't know what it was. The way you know K2 today, that's not how I was in prison. That was my first time hearing about it. It was like, oh, it's basically like weed. You know, you smoke it out of that. I smoked that shit. worst thing ever. I don't smoke weed no more because of that shit. Like, I've never had a regular weed high since I smoked that shit, bro. That's why I smoked weed. But that's really was my life, bro. I was with Aryan brothers with swastikas on and thunderbolts on them, bro. Like, I was around that shit, niggas. I really had to, like, politic with certain shit to make sure that at the end of the day, me, 17, 19, 20 years old, I'm good. Like, I'm not, you know, I survived that. So.
Yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely.
That's what's up. So the last joint that you picked, and this is the reason why everybody here, right? Like, this is the exclusive Dead End Hip Hop. This is why you come to the listening, because you can't get it nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? We got an unreleased joint. Now, it is something that you may be familiar with. It's misogynistic off of his latest mixtape, but it's an unreleased verse. So what's the story behind the unreleased verse? Why is it unreleased?
So I was just talking about this earlier. When I say I freestyle, bro, like, I be freestyling. Like, I'll make a verse and then make another verse for verse 1, and I'll do a verse and I'll do another verse for verse 2. That's how I go. That's how I get down. I don't mind. Like, I'll be like, listen to the first verse, like, it's cool, but I don't like the story I'm telling. What story do I really want to tell on this song? Let's start it over again. And then usually I forget that I ever made the first verse, but this one I was like, let me go back to a really old version. Let me look and see. And I was like, oh yeah. So that was the original. This is the original freestyle of this song before there was really a story format. And I probably did that in 10 minutes. Like, no joke. I did probably each.
That's what's up. So look, hey, before you press play, Ken, everybody watching live, bro. It's the only place you can get it now. You ain't gonna get it nowhere else. The Dead End Hip Hop exclusive. Yeah. Misogynistical.
Man, you should do like an alternative tape, like just with prior versions of the rap. That'd be crazy.
Maybe it's physical only or something. Yeah, that could be cool.
Yeah, that'd be dope, man. Like,
that's dope.
That'd be dope as hell if you did like an alternative version. Like, yo, this was the. Oh man, that'd be crazy.
Keep it limited too. Yeah, keep it limited. Like, you gotta get in here quick.
That's a great idea. Great idea.
But look, we gonna get into the unreleased verse. They
saying it now. They said I'll buy that. They saying it in the chat. They'll buy that. There you go, right there. Hey. Confirmation.
I love it.
Look, misogynistical unreleased verse. The only place you heard it is on Dead End Hip Hop.
I don't think we can handle a style so rancid. He flipped it like man to the old jazz standard.
Professional that facing truth. Professional that lacing truth. Before I give you the boot, give you the Timbs, give you the Dr. Martens, give you the spice, that's a kick. Why in the hell would I envy you? I know heaven is a thing. And you look like you came from out of hell, what a shame. So why in the hell would I envy you? Why in the hell would I envy you?
I'm laughing because I'm hearing this. I think I sent it to y'all, but I didn't really listen. I'm laughing because I'm like, that's what I was freestyling that shit, bro. And it was like, it was a lot of clever like wordplay. In 10 minutes. So I'm laughing because it's new to me as I'm listening to it with y'all.
Yeah, man, that's amazing, bro. That's amazing. It's like, oh man, it's like demo. You know, who was it? Pac got some like demo stuff out there. Like the Drunken Flow. You ever heard that old Pac stuff? It's like a Drunken Flow. I found it one day and I meant to send it to them because they had never heard it either. But yeah, I used to hear it. Like there would be like those tapes that you would get like in college and stuff. You can only get it on like campus grounds.
Hold on. It's exclusive right here. Hold on.
An inmate at the Prince George's County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Yo, D.
What's up with you?
Hey, so you happen to be live on Dead End Hip Hop right now. You just happen to call, just talking about you. And you just happen to call right now. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Hey, everybody, say what's up to D, y'all.
What up?
Yeah.
Well, the chat like wow, the chat going crazy too. Like check like, hey yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, so you kind of famous right now, man. Everybody heard you on a project on a mixtape. So in the beginning, how you on there and on the end and stuff. So we literally been talking about the whole mixtape, and then you happen to call me now.
That's crazy, man. Hey. Crazy work, man, but you already know how we do it, brother. What's up with you though?
Yeah, we good. You know, we just over here. I'm gonna leave it on so you can hear what we talking about and everything. And if you want to chime in on anything, or if y'all have any questions or whatever, you know, it's cool.
Yeah, all right, I'm gonna listen to what y'all got going on.
My man,
that's what's up. Ken, let's get to the super chats. I think we got a couple of them joints.
We do, but I got a question, bro.
Okay.
Well, because it's on the Superwoman joint from F65. Bro, I gotta know the story. That's one of my favorite Stevie Wonder songs, and Donny Hathaway got a version live too. But I mess with Music Soul Child. When I listen to it, I like the version that you guys did, and I'm kind of really harsh when it comes to R&B music. So,
especially Stevie. Come on, man.
Right.
I just performed with Stevie at Blue Note with Robert Glasper not too long ago. And it's funny because, anytime you do a Stevie song cover, he has to clear it. You can't curse, none of that. He don't like none of that. And so obviously he heard that. The reason why I had the courage, the day I did that song was the first time I ever heard it. I happened to hear it play after something on Apple Music. And I was like, this is great. This song is, the two parts to this song is so crazy. And I was like, I'm gonna just try it just to see, and I did it. And then I was in the studio with Music Soul Child. And I was like, man, I was so embarrassed to try to play it for him because this is Music Soul Child. But I was like, y'all, I want to play this. I just want to see what you think. And he literally was like, bro, I didn't know you could do that. And he was like, I want you to get on it too with me. And he was like, I would be honored to do that. So then he did his part. And then we just, we ended up sending it to Stevie to get the clearance on it. And man, he cleared it, man. He let me use it. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is dope. That is dope.
Shout out to Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, for real. The fact that he cleared, that's Stevie don't play.
I know. He don't be joking around. He really likes music and good music, not just whatever. He like, man, he's the GOAT, man. He's the GOAT.
All right, let me get to these questions, man, so we won't hold you too much longer. John Redcoat, is there a project or song you really wish you could redo today with your current skill and production skill?
I think see, if I say this now, y'all gonna be looking for it, right? So when Jay Electronica